drawing?
A liger.
What's a liger?
It's pretty much my favorite animal. It's like a lion and a tiger mixed. Bred for its skills and magic.
Grimerica.
Because what happens is people get this negative thing, okay, and that's where I talk about come home and sage your house or put cinnamon on the stove and get the air. Open a window. Get some good energy going in the house.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Grimerica show. We are going to be chatting with Nancy Yearout a little bit later. It's a fun one. You guys should enjoy it. And yeah, good to be back and excited to do the show with Graham Catman Dunlop.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm a Catman.
Catterday?
Yeah.
Do you participate in Catterday?
Yeah, I've been known to.
You miss any? Yeah, have you been known to miss any Catterdays?
Yeah, I don't. It's just if I'm ever posting a picture of Zeus, then I put Catterday, and even if it's not Catterday, I put a hashtag in there.
What? That's not how it works. It's guys like you that just ruin the hashtags. No?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know the Twitter.
Does Catterday have to be on Saturday? Is that the point?
So. I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow those rules. I'm not a rule follower, Darren.
I think you are a rule follower. Except for speeding and Catterday. Except for speed limits and Catterday.
Yeah.
Huh.
So how you been?
Oh, not too bad.
That's good.
Warmer weather seems to be upon us. Hopefully it sticks around this time. I think it will.
Hopefully it's more than a Chinook.
Yeah, I think it will. It was pretty bright and sunny today.
That's good.
From didn't have the Chinook arch, but sometimes it still tricks you.
The problem is with Calgary, and I'm sure other cities, but not so much because we get so warm so fast that it's all mucky now. It's just totally dirty. Muddy, dirty, filthy, mushy. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's not, but still, I'd rather be that than getting hammered with a fucking snowstorm right now, a 3-day snowstorm.
Yeah,
it's
I guess.
like plus 15 there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be barbecuing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It does feel really warm when it gets this warm. It was 3 degrees yesterday and it felt like spring.
That was 12 today.
Yeah.
If it's nice on Friday and a barbecue, some steaks, get that fucking smell going around the neighborhood, I like it.
Yeah, we should welcome all the new listeners too. We still had the step up increase here in listenership, and we ramble on during these intros. We kind of had a trip to the cabin, and we did an intro in the cabin. It might have been a little confusing for people, but that was just sort of an odd episode. We went to the cabin and we did a bit of a shit show version, kind of a bonus episode in the cabin as well. So, but we didn't want that. I didn't want that to go out to a bunch of new listeners that don't know what's going on.
That didn't go. Yeah, geez.
So what we did is we released it as an episode for free still. But if you sign up to the newsletter, how does it work, Aaron? You get
sign up for the newsletter, and Justin sends you the episode just like that. Go to grimerica.ca/news. Sign up for the newsletter. Pow! You get an email with the link to download the episode.
So then that way it's kind of like for people that want to listen to it, it's there for free, but it's not out in the normal feed. So that, I don't know, just,
That's like the mushroom episode too.
Maybe later on we'll put it out there.
The mushroom episode's only available.
Oh, is that possible? Can you do that? Can you put it out in the normal feed, but retro?
No.
You can't?
How would that work? So then, no, that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all, no. So I was just thinking about it's nice to have the amount, it kind of sucks not having your episode in your feed.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyways, we always appreciate the feedback from people too.
People who do paywalls and they have all these episodes that aren't in the feed.
Yeah, I know, but that's why. Because we like to just build up that feed, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, the only way we can do that is if
people support
the show. And if it weren't for our monthly support, there's about 60 or 70 of you guys that are honestly towing the line for thousands of you. So if if we could do every episode for a penny, we'd be set. But
Yeah,
right
if it was
now,
like what do they call it? Micropayments or
microaggressions.
micro doses.
So many great micros. Check out Grimerica.ca/support, guys. Honestly, even if you can sign up for $1 a month, like if everyone signed up for $1 a month, we'd be laughing.
Yeah.
And
well, at least we get our expenses covered and our some of our debts paid off from this venture.
That's right. That's right. Maybe like move the studio out of the leaky garage, and so many things we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone, look at $1 a month if you can. There's everything either from $1 a month to $30 a month, and like $1 a month. That's like what we do 4 or 5 episodes a month. So that's like somewhere between 20 and 25 cents an episode, about 10 cents an hour.
Yeah,
with 5 cents each.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's other ways to support the show as well. Like you can email us stories and stuff like that. Like ended up being a platform for people to share their experience. We've met tons of really good really cool listeners who just want to talk about stuff, in a nice, non-judgmental, open-minded way. So that's another way. And Darren's on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. And there's another way to.
No way it's on Facebook. There's a Facebook page. It exists.
There's a P.O. box. We just got a couple postcards actually too. That's always good to get stuff at the actual P.O. box.
I should read some P.O. boxes.
Sure, you could read some stuff.
Graham is an all-in believer in chemtrails.
Wrong jingle.
And now another edition of Grimerican Goodies by the people, for the people.
Graham's shaking his head over here, looking angry.
Yep.
That jingle really rattles you, eh?
It's okay. I got one I got one in response to.
I just want to wait till the one day you're like walking through an airport someplace and you just hear, Graham, someone's phone ringing. You just blow your top all fucking Costanza style. When you go bald, you're really gonna look like Costanza.
I'm not going bald. I'm gonna shave my hair before I go bald.
Are you?
Yeah. This is just my last ditch effort to grow it while I still can.
So if you have any tips on how to save your hair, send them in to graham@grimerica.com. I need them too, so send them in, seriously. So we got a postcard here from Seattle, I think. It's a nice little luau girl with the martini glass, shaken not stirred. I don't know if that's a James Bond reference. I always thought postcards would just used to be like the city you're from or something. These postcards are just completely generic.
Random, yeah.
So this one says, D. and Graham, if you interview anyone for Flat Earth, my vote is Flat Earth Conspiracy YouTube channel. Lori Prim, Lawrence Wright, and John Wolicki. Thanks, Janaya. We'll look into that. And we've got another postcard from our buddy Felix Berto. I don't know why I said that with a Spanish accent.
Sounds Spanish.
Sure. So he always has them, so you have to like, namaste, Graham. You have to like flip him around. March 13th. So he couldn't have sent this on March. What's this say? Can you say happy birthday to my wife, Andrea, on the show? Her birthday is March 13th.
Oh, happy belated.
That was today, the 15th? 14th.
Yeah, that's 15th. That's pretty quick.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
Andrea
Berto. That's great. Thanks, your husband, for the jingles. So, I can't see where this one came from. Do we know where Felix is from?
I have a feeling it's Phoenix or Washington or something like that, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Green Bay?
Oh, maybe.
Is that Massachusetts? Wisconsin. So he's like practically Canadian. Darren, happy birthday. I hope Graham got you a good gift. He didn't give me anything.
We don't get each other gifts.
No, we give each other hard times. James took me out for lunch, though. It was nice. What else did I do on my birthday? I think that's about it. I wanted to do nothing. I got to stay home all weekend.
Yeah.
And go to no like events or kids things or anything. Just stay home, bum around the house, and do whatever I wanted.
Nice.
It's nice, yeah. Maybe he got you a lifetime supply of Wonka chocolate bars. My gift for you, a synchro to rate. Oh.
I want a good score for my synchronicity. If Graham reads it out, then Darren might give it to me. Hey, don't you please rate it low. Yeah.
So this past Friday, my wife and I went and saw a play rendition of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because her cousin had a part in it. It was quite entertaining. On Saturday, we decided to watch the Wonka film to revisit it. Needless to say, the Oompa Loompa riddle reminded me of Graham. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that.
That wasn't bad, buddy. What's a ripple, though? What's an Oompa Loompa ripple?
What?
You said the Oompa Loompa ripple reminds me of Graham. What is that?
Riddle.
Riddle.
Yeah.
You said ripple.
Sorry. I was too
almost
excited about my joke. Bob and Doug. Is it Bob and Doug?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Mackenzie, right?
Yeah.
Needless to say, the Oompa Loompa riddle song got stuck in my head like earworms do. Is that like Oompa Loompa,
Loompa.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
What is this thing that is in my shoe? On Sunday, I resumed where I left off on your Grimerica back episodes, and lo and behold, your intro theme was preceded by a snippet of the Oompa Loompa song.
That's pretty weird.
Little People app. Is that like some sort of ist?
No. What do you mean? That was the Susan Martinez app probably, right? Way back? I mean, what are the chances of him grabbing that app out of all our apps?
Do you have it keyed up there?
No. I just have a jingle for you later.
Okay, play it. Drop it. No, wait. Let me figure this one out. So which one was Susan Martinez? How does it not come up?
Good search. So that's how easy it is to search our back catalog. We can't even find our own episode. Can't you just search SUS?
Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, I think I was doing something wrong there. So okay, let's see if Graham's right. Right off the top of his head, he pulled that shit off. I think this was the only one.
I've got another puzzle for you. Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee Dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me.
I can't believe you.
So old. This is from January 18th, 2014, so 3 years ago.
Wow. I can't believe you had the balls to put that jingle on for that
for
episode.
the Little People app.
Well, just like the flares in Phoenix Lights or whatever, where they can
oh my god
just say, we did an exercise with these green berets and it's all documented here and this is why.
This is a compound synchronicity.
Oh, am I compounding your synchro?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it on.
Because nice. They were nothing but soldiers, green beret soldiers.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see why it's a synchro here? Because my UFO quote of the week. No.
Okay, go ahead.
My UFO quote of the week is about Phoenix Lights, and there's a story. It's the 20th anniversary of Phoenix Lights right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what I've got lined up here for you.
Well, Felix,
he contributed to this whole thing, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Since it's your wife's birthday and involves the show, I'll give you a 7.42.
That's it?
7.92.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Satisfied with that. That's a good one.
That's a good one. And I'll play one of your jingles for your wife's birthday.
Okay.
Which one do you think his wife would want us to play?
How about I've got a new one for especially...
Is it from Felix?
No.
Then
it's not. Okay.
Let's do the sport one. I like the social media one, but we play that one more during the show, I feel like.
If they make you laugh, if they make you cry, if they blow your mind, why not go online to Grimericas?
like that. So
You better be singing happy birthday with that beautiful voice.
all right.
Okay, what do you got?
So I got a jingle to play.
Did you make it yourself?
Never mind.
Did you make it yourself? Let me guess. Actually, play it first.
Not working. Okay.
What's the matter, Graham?
Oh shit.
Is that James?
That's Darren is an all-in believer in wolfins.
Is that James singing it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Let me
James.
just play it again for you. It's not working.
You're just so worst at this podcasting thing. Ugh.
Why isn't it working? Anyways, I'll play it again one day.
Send it to me. I'll play it.
No, you won't.
If you want the Wolfins jingle, spamgram. Did you know what was that over? Ugh, are you trying this again? This is getting It's pretty good.
That was Darren saying that like dolphins have the same hip structure as wolves, and wolves evolved from the same.
I didn't say that they evolved from the same thing. As from each other, I said that they both evolved from a common ancestor.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Which is the common.
No, you were talking. It was a little bit crazier than that. Anyways,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was just Michael made it sound crazier. But if you Google right now, wolf and dolphin evolution, they come from the same place. Dolphins still have like the hip fucking bones floating
like
in
a
there
wolf.
someplace.
I don't know. I think so. Okay. Anyways, you don't have to look it up now. Yeah.
Why not?
Because I don't think that species evolve into different things like that.
But they're both mammals.
That doesn't matter,
doesn't it?
No. Oh. Anyway, so do you want to just get into what do you want to do now? The UFO quote now, since we'll stay on that?
I'm going to type in dolphin wolf evolution into the Googles and see what comes up. Early dolphins are smaller and believed to have consumed small fish as well as various organisms in the water. The older theories is that walls. Here we go. It's cows. Maybe it's cows.
It says something about hoofed land animals that are very similar to wolves. So you don't even know.
Dolphin evolution.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with wolves at all.
What do we got here? There are many telling signs that the dolphin is related to terrestrial origins. The fact that they need to come to surface to breathe air. Dolphins have spines that move vertically. Size and shape of the skull.
And the hip structure.
And the hips. Hip bones.
Does it say that?
I don't know.
It doesn't even say that. See, you're not.
I'm not prepared because I'm just spitting it up here.
Anyways, you're an all-in believer in the wolfin.
I am an all-in believer in the wolfin. And I would like to hear. There it is. It is a fucking wolfin.
No, it's not.
Sure looks like it to me. It's actually called an Andrewwashus. About 95 million years ago, Masonics, the ancestor of today's dolphins, appeared on Earth. It was a terrestrial animal that went into the water to feed. Masonics had front and hind. See, I find most of that hard to believe that they know all that.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. They have the skeletal remains of that crazy-looking animal?
I think it's pretty funny that it looks almost identical to a wolfin.
That's almost what a wolfin would look like. Except
it's
we
like
pictured
if a wolfin had sex with a tiger.
we had it pictured with a dolphin back and a wolf snout. So anyway, send me a link. Send me that, and I'll put a link in the show notes. It's kind of funny.
I'm typing in wolfin.
James will at least. Oh my God! It came up at Wikipedia.
There's a bunch of it. A wolfin is a dolphin born from a bottlenose dolphin mating with a false killer whale.
No, you don't spell it like WH, like wolfin. It's WOF.
That's what I typed in.
No,
but it automatically corrected it.
It's WOLF.
It doesn't take the PH from dolphin?
No.
So it takes the whole word of wolf? It can't be like that. Let's take half and half.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Let's see what the image is for wolf.
That's what we were talking about. So it's a thing. Wow. A lot of people are walling believers in wolfins, apparently, if you search it on images. Okay. Anyways, people this is audio, so people are going to get pissed if they can't see all the stuff.
So they proved animals that were very similar to wolves. Okay?
All right. You're still an all-in believer.
I'm an all-in believer until someone... I would like to see evidence in the otherwise. Or someone send me some evidence to fucking steamroll Graham would be cool, too.
You try and steamroll me roll...
You can fucking steamroll yourself pretty good over there. So,
Darren and Graham are going deep. It's a profound UFO quote of the week. Words to ponder and critique.
Okay, so this is the day after Felix's wife's birthday. So she's like one day before Phoenix Lights. I wonder if she remembers the Phoenix Lights happening.
Phoenix Lights?
Yeah, so the Phoenix Lights anniversary is yesterday, I believe.
On Pi Day?
Oh, it might be on the 13th, actually.
On Pi Day?
Pi Day.
March 14th.
No, actually, I think it's on Felix's wife's birthday. So one of the most witnessed and documented mass anomalous aerial events in modern history, known worldwide as the Phoenix Lights, happened. So there was like a 12-hour period including large triangular shapes and also some witnesses saw orbs detach from the main object, go out into the environment, and then redock with it. So at one point, military jets were sent out after the mile-wide object, and as they got closer, the craft's lights dimmed, and then the craft blinked out and disappeared altogether. So this is, interesting.
That was the one with the mayor and everything, right?
That's the quote, right? Coming right up.
The mayor's quote?
Yep. So former Arizona Governor Fife Symington, who trotted out... so an update just popped in front of me. Trotted out an alien as an aide, or an aide dressed as an alien, 10 years to spoof the frenzy surrounding mysterious lights in Phoenix, now says the lights were actually an alien spacecraft. Now a pastry chef and business consultant, Symington is keying in on the anniversary of the sighting of the so-called Phoenix Lights by reversing course, saying the lights were really extraterrestrial and that he saw a UFO himself. I'm a pilot and I know just about every machine that flies, Symington said on Thursday. It was bigger than anything that I've ever seen. It remains a great mystery because actually he was out there. He was one of the witnesses. Other people saw it, responsible people. I don't know why people would ridicule it.
That it, or is this just like a pregnant pause?
No, that's about it. Yeah. I don't want to read the rest. Anyways, it just shows you. I think this is still a great case. It's still up for debate. I mean, the skeptical view of this being that the whole shebang is flares is just ridiculous. So, and I probably talked about it in episode January 2014. With Red, Pill Junkie. It sounds like he was in that with us.
Not one I was just playing?
Yeah.
Probably would have been the anniversary again. Right?
Yep.
Huh.
So there you have it.
Bye, Miss American Pie. What else you got? That's it?
No, I got
time for one more.
No, I got some listener feedback, some stuff like that.
Just regular old feedback?
Well, I got synchronicities, pre-cog dreams, just feedback. I don't know. What do you want? You want a couple dream ones? You want to do a couple dream ones?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Is it real or a dream? What does that even mean?
So, hey, D&G. This is the subject is new subscriber. Been listening for a while, and I finally decided to cancel a reoccurring charge on my PayPal account for a service I no longer use and switch it over to you guys. Had the idea to do this for months, but for some reason couldn't take the 30 seconds to actually complete the task until today.
Thanks.
Probably some sort of programming in my mind. Anyways, wanted to share a lucid dream experience I had a ways back with you guys. I had been really into the Linklater film, Waking Life, and watched it a ton, but wasn't super into trying it out for myself, but I had the inspiration to do it at the same point. So I have this dream where I become aware I'm almost visually blind, almost like a blanket covering me or something. But I have this overwhelming feeling that something is really wrong, like life-threatening wrong. I felt like my life force was being drained from my body. It was such a disturbing feeling that I realized I was dreaming and somehow forced myself to wake up. I awoke in my bed and sat straight up, out of breath, and freaked out. But felt safe now, realizing that it was just a dream. I was surveying my dark room, trying to take in the nightmare, and eventually found it odd that I could see clearly without my glasses on. I remember touching my face, feeling they weren't on, and realizing I was still dreaming.
Actually, I think I've done that before.
The same thing with the glasses?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a dream that you can see?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I remember that from when I was younger. I was like, hey, I can see. That ain't right.
That's your lucid. That's your, what's your dream sign?
My glasses? When I don't wear my glasses?
Yeah.
Huh. Good to know.
Yeah. So tonight when you're dreaming and you're not wearing your glasses and you can see, that's your dream sign. You go lucid. Boom. You can do what you want.
I'm going over to your house and I'm kicking you in the fucking nuts.
Come and visit me and see if I can sense you.
No. I'm good. Don't go trying to sense me either.
What was that? So where am I? That I was still dreaming. At that moment, an angry apparition came flying out of the wall opposite my bed, straight towards me. And then I woke up a second time. This time my vision was as it should be, and I knew I was really awake this time. The strong feeling that something was sucking my energy, life force, lingered for a couple days, as powerful dreams sometimes do. I made a drawing of it, but I can't find it to send. I made a drawing of it. If I can find it, I'll send it along. Thanks for what you guys are doing. Not too many non-weirds out there talking about all this stuff publicly and having such a good time with it. Thanks. That was from Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, that was a good one.
One more?
Yeah, sure. I got a little my email's just, oh my God.
Oh my God.
My email just about crashed. Oh, it did. Something happened.
All right, guys. Well,
no, I got it. Okay, this is from our buddy Max, and I think something. What is?
I gotta find something other to say than "all right, guys."
Yeah,
I think I probably say that a lot.
So, Graham, dear Graham, I'm very sure I had a pre-cog dream over the weekend. I was having a dream where I was at my place of work. A real quick history about the building that I work in. It was an old railway station in the 1920s. Was then made into a munitions factory during World War II. I also work with a handful of people, so big groups of people are not common to see here. Now the dream. I found myself at my place of work, but the only problem was there was way too many people in the building. So I thought, strange. I wonder if I'm seeing a bit of the old railway station. I, like you, Graham, will let the dream take over and flow with it. I was trying to stop a man from getting poisoned in the station. I didn't know who this man was, but I knew he was somewhat important. I did not succeed in my task. I watched him seize up and die in front of me. Then I woke up. This was on Friday night to Saturday morning. February 24th, 25th. I told my fiance and her mom about it in the morning. I wasn't able to write it down that day. I woke up on Sunday to find out that Kim Jong-nam had been poisoned in an airport. I couldn't believe it. I just looked at my phone in disbelief and thought, did I really just dream that the night before? I told my fiance about it when she woke up, and she thinks I did. What do you think? Have a nice week.
Yeah, sure. You know what? If he was sleeping, where's he from?
I don't know.
It was probably like it's fucking blasted out to every cell phone in the country and their news feeds and everything else. Maybe he just picked it up.
Picked it up electronically or through his ears?
Like his ears.
Really?
Yeah. They were all electrons.
During his sleep?
Yeah.
But it wasn't coming.
He got his news feed in his dream. Boom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe, eh?
Probably not.
No?
It's probably
I do.
legit.
I do have another dream one. It's a little bit longer if you want to, or I can save it.
What do you want to do? You have enough to save it?
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy the chat. Nancy.
Yeah.
Who's next week?
Next week? It was Connor and...
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Connor and Gordon White.
Yeah. Well, that's a fun one.
And then that was... Who else did we do that night?
I can't remember.
Oh, it's a great lineup coming up. You guys enjoy it.
Yep.
Remember, March is Tell a Friend About the Show month, so tell a friend about this motherfucker. Sign someone up for the newsletter. Support the show.
And thanks for your emails.
And thanks for the emails. Enjoy the chat.
All right, tonight we've got Nancy Yearout here. She's the author of Wake Up, The Universe is Speaking to You. She's, I think you could call her a spiritual coach. She's an inspirational speaker and, of course, an author, and she still holds a real estate license, I believe. And she's talking about how to use universal energy to change your life. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here, Nancy, in your book that we talk about quite a bit on the show. So it's good to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on tonight.
So, yeah, interesting times. And when did your book come out? Just recently?
Yeah, it came out, end of November of 2016. So it hasn't been out that long.
Yeah, good. That's it's a lot of stuff resonates with me in there. All the energy work and the stuff we need to do to utilize that in our everyday lives.
Was the book something you were planning to write, or is there a story there? I find a lot of times there's a little story.
Right. Well, I was going to write this when I got really old, when I had a lot of time on my hands. So they thought, I'll write the book when I get old. So I wrote it quicker than I thought. Yeah, I wanted people to know how to use the energy to draw things to themselves and to create what they wanted for themselves. And I learned this stuff out of pure necessity, probably in my late 20s, early 30s. I was in the real estate business, and I was a single mom, 2 little kids, and I needed to sell property. I needed to sell homes. Mm-hmm. And so I learned how to use the energy to draw things to myself. I started going to seminars, and people would talk about visualizations and affirmations. Mm-hmm. And I started to delve into this work. A lot of it had to do with, I'm from New Mexico, and people in New Mexico tend to be more spiritual. And, they don't look at you weird when you talk about affirmations and drawing things to yourself. But, yeah, so I would start doing this stuff. I would drive to work in the morning and I would say, I sell houses like crazy, or money flows immediately and constantly to me, and I accept the abundance. And I learned whatever vibration you put out to the universe, whatever you say, okay, and whatever you think is what the universe picks up on. And in turn, it gives it back to you.
So like the law of attraction?
Exactly. But the thing that people miss, okay, you have to be careful with your words, because your words have vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say, I'll never be successful, you won't be. You have to really be careful to choose your words appropriately. It's the vibration of your words that goes out to the universe. And it's the faith that what you're saying will come to pass. So two things go with this. The vibration of your words and your thoughts, and you have to have faith that, in something, in a higher power, that this will come back to you.
Right.
And it does work. Now, and it works in all different ways.
What about being careful of not using the negative aspect? Like instead of, let's say, what's a good example? Like if you're trying to manifest something or quit smoking, like instead of using the I won't smoke, you turn it around and use the positive, or like I will be healthy or something like that.
Right. I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. I have sparkling blue eyes. Use a rhyme. I love rhymes. Rhymes are cool because you can remember them. But yes, it's the same concept. You can't say, I'm going to quit smoking. You have to say, I don't smoke.
Right. Because.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because what you're telling yourself and the universe is that you don't smoke. See, and it has a lot to do with your mind, too, and the vibration. You got to remember, here we are, we're energy, right? And people think, it's ooey gooey, but it's not. We're made of energy. We have energy fields. So it's really important that, if you're in a negative environment at home or at work, that you're able to clear yourself. Mm-hmm. Because what happens eventually over time when you're around negativity for a long period of time, or a negative person for a long period of time, your energy fields actually can get dirty, dull, okay? Meaning that your immune system can be down, meaning that, things are not going maybe as well as they could for you. It kind of pushes you off your path a little bit. So it's really good for people to, clean their energy fields, which are really simple things you can do. You can come home from work and you can take a sea salt bath, hop in the bathtub, put in half a cup of sea salt and soak for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. That will actually clean some of that negative energy off of you, and it's not weird or ooey gooey. Another thing you can do is meditation. 10 minutes in the morning will make a really big difference.
Yeah.
But, visualize that you're cleaning your energy fields. There's CDs you can get. One of my favorite things, and I'm just going to be honest, is getting a massage.
Yeah.
Because when you get a massage, what happens is all that negative energy that's built up, like in your tissues and your muscles and everything, it comes out. That's why when you stand up, you're a little dizzy, because all those toxins and all that yucky stuff, gets out of your muscles and your bones. And so I suggest massage at least once a month.
Yeah, well, in Canada, I don't know how it is in the States. I'd be interested to know. Is we get most company insurance, or most insurance providers now, I think it's all across Canada, at least in most of the provinces, they cover like $500 a year in massages. So you don't need a doctor's note or anything. You just send in your receipts and you get instantly reimbursed.
Reimbursed.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, no, I write in my book, I think everybody should go once a month at least, because you can only help yourself, and it prevents you from becoming sick. So it kind of bogs you down too. Don't you feel better when you get out of a massage? I know I do.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to talk a bit more about the affirmations too, because I just finished reading kind of more of a mainstream book, but Scott Adams, the writer of Dilbert, I don't know if you know who he is, but he just had a book, and a bunch of us actually ended up reading it, called How to Fail at Everything and Still Succeed, or How to Fail at Everything and Still Win Big, or something like that. But he talks about affirmations in there, but he's pretty careful not to say or admit that they're magic, but he talks about his own use of them and how important they were, and how they actually like shifted his life a couple times. But he goes on about how, you know, he failed at all these things, but it was really the way he looked at those failures as learning experiences, and he really ended up propelling him into new paths and opportunities. Right. And he used affirmations, right. and they worked. I mean, he didn't want to admit that it was magic, but I mean, there are some pretty crazy examples of his affirmations working.
Right, and affirmations do work. And I have a chapter in my book, in Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking To, and it talks about you have to do it over. It's a do-over. And that's what he's doing. Here's the situation. You may pray for something or ask for something. Prayer is like an affirmation, okay? You may say, okay, I want this new house, and I'd like to live here. You don't want to put too many parameters on it. You want to leave it more wide open. What usually happens is it doesn't come in your time. It comes when it's the best for you. And usually, if it doesn't come as quickly as you would like it to, you have a lesson to learn, okay? The universe is set up for our benefit. Here's the part that people don't get. So when you say to the universe, I want this or that, you'll get it, but maybe not in your time. You get it when you're supposed to. You mean not in your time that you're expecting? Is that what you mean? Bingo. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And that's where people get a little bit messed up with this stuff, because there is a higher power that knows better than we do. Okay, you can call it spirit, you can call it God, you can call it universal energy, but the bottom line is there's somebody a little higher than us up there, okay? And this whole universe was set up so that this energy was for our benefit. So if we learn how to use it properly, we can actually use it for the benefit of our business or our personal life, you know. Say, like I was talking to you before about, you know, drawing in houses to myself, it still works for me to this day. I'll use a vision board. I visualize what I want. Sometimes I forget, and I know this stuff really well. A lot of people will visualize a partner coming into their lives. And I always tell people, write down on a piece of paper, not on your phone. Don't type it. Write it down. Use the energy of your hand. Use ink, and write down what you're looking for in a partner. Okay, then put that away, and it will manifest. But be really, really, really careful, because I've done this before. I'm happily married now, but I did it a couple times, and I wasn't careful about how I asked, and I got exactly what I asked for. You really need to be careful with your words. And you know, I've been on a lot of different radio shows with my book, and I've talked to so many different people, and so many people have said to me, yeah, I had a vision board, and I had this up on my vision board, and like 3 years later, I went to that place. And it happened to me. I write about going to Jamaica, for example. I was collecting maps, really cool maps to put on my wall, and I had Cabo, and I had all these different places. And I just picked up a map, you know, of Jamaica, and I stuck it on my wall. Well, I ended up going there in like 2 or 3 years. Why? Because the universe thought that's where I wanted to go. So you have to really be careful how you decorate your space, right?
That's interesting. It's almost like The Secret. I got into The Secret. Actually, you know, to be honest with you, The Secret, for some reason, I was reading Eckhart Tolle's New Earth, and I was watching The Secret, but my sister had tried to get me to watch it a few times, but I was kind of stuck in alcohol and drugs for a while there, and it actually helped me get out of that. And it's like what you're saying, The Secret, but The Secret got kind of I don't know. It either got misused or it got a bad name. So now when everybody talks about this, they're like, oh, it's just about material, but it's not about material, you know, gaining material wealth, right?
No, not at all. You know what it is? It's about having faith. You got to have faith in something besides, you know, yourself. You know, here's the thing. Everybody's searching. Everybody's, you know, people are doing prescription drugs. People are doing methamphetamines. People are drinking. But, you know, there's a higher power. And whether you want to call it, you know, spirit or God, have to believe in something.
It's more about the principle,
higher than
right?
us. Right, exactly. And that's where people are getting so lost. Because here's the deal. We're only here for a certain amount of time. I hate to get, technical here, but I have a chapter in my book that says everybody has an expiration date, because we do. And we don't talk about that. We don't talk about we're only here for a certain amount of time. And it's not like how much you accumulate while you're here, because nobody cares. When you're gone, it's stuff, right? So how much good energy did you put out? Or who did you help? Or what did you leave behind, for the next generation? These are the things that are important. What did you say to somebody? Your words really have a lot of power. Your thoughts have a lot of power. What you do has a lot of power, and it makes a difference here. And that's what we've gotten away from. We've gotten so materialistic. It's so about what we look like and what we can have. But really, in the end, we all get old, right? and things get old, and what we are energy. We're just energy, and we move on. So that's why I talk about energy, and that's why I say it's really important to keep your energy fields clear, because it keeps you healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You put out good vibrations, you get good vibrations back. And the ultimate thing with me is I really feel like if everybody could put out good vibrations, just make an effort, could actually raise the vibration and change some of the negativity that's happening right now on the planet. And that's not really as far-fetched as it may sound.
No, I mean, they've done some tests and experiments on people meditating in cities, and the violence goes down. And I mean, they've got that global coherence network. And I mean, there is an energy out there. There's lots of evidence of that.
Right. It's just we don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And I was a single mom with 2 kids. Why did I write the book? Because I wanted other people. I wish somebody would have told me, when I was in my early 20s, maybe, hey, there's energy out here, and it was put here for your use, and this is how you use it, and this is what you do, and everything you do has a consequence, and everything you do has an effect. So be careful with your words, be careful what you do, because we're little creators. That's what we are.
What are some other ways to balance that out or cleanse yourself? Like you mentioned, meditating.
Yeah. Yeah, well, salt's one of my favorite things you can use. White sage. We use white sage in New Mexico quite a bit. It's what the Native Americans use. You can just Google it and pick it up online. And I love it. It's the properties within the smoke, within the sage smoke. And I cleanse my house, my car with that, my office quite often. If you're in a space and you can't, go in with white sage, cinnamon, if you can put cinnamon in a pot of boiling water, what happens is that the cinnamon steam seeps out into the house or into the office, into the space, and it will clear the energy.
Sorry, the cinnamon what?
Steam.
Oh, steam.
It will clear the energy. It'll seep the steam.
Yeah.
So if you put it on a stove,
okay,
just put 3 or 4 tablespoons of cinnamon. Nobody has to know what you're doing. Do it when your relatives come over, right? And it'll, it will actually balance the energy. When you've got negative people in a room together, I always tell people to do this at holiday time, put cinnamon on the stove, because it really makes a difference. It'll balance the energy in the room.
I wonder if that would work at work.
Yeah, you should try it. You got to bring in a little hot plate.
Yeah, they won't know.
Will people notice?
What about
must be pretty
will
smelly,
a cinnamon candle work?
I'm sorry?
Will a cinnamon candle work? You should just get your smudge out, Graham. My wife smudges the house out a couple times a week.
No, you can't do that. How about aromatherapy? Can you use?
Oh yeah, I have essential oils too. See, I have all this stuff going in my house all the time. The house gets the sage treatment a couple times a week. There's essential oils going 24/7 in this motherfucker.
Okay,
that's your wife. That's his wife though.
That's my wife. Yeah. She's got my back.
Yeah, but that's what it keeps you healthy. It keeps your house clear because you bring in. Think about this. Think about how much negative energy you touch on a daily basis. And I talk about this in the book too, and how to get it off your fingers. If you just take one hand, flick the other finger, you feel the energy coming off your fingers. And I tell people, usually when I'm in the jacuzzi, my husband and I are big in jacuzzi people. I'm into water because, again, it balances you. That's, that's another thing. We just take the energy right off our arms, flick it up, and say to the, up into the air. You can feel it coming off of you. Don't do it too often, though, because you don't want to take all the good energy off of you. But
yeah, how do you know the negative comes off first? Yeah.
I think so, yes. And you can feel it come off. But there's a lot of different things you can do. Frankincense is wonderful for aromatherapy.
Yeah, I've got that in my
So
bath.
you could get away with a diffuser at the office.
Yeah, I thought about that, actually.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Yeah, I have a diffuser at home and oils in the bath and stuff like that, yeah. Crystals.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. Again, don't think it's ooey-gooey, but I want you to try it. When I was younger, I had 2 young little girls, and did this. I don't even know how I knew to do it, but I do it still today. I used to just kind of visualize white light around myself, kind of bubble us when we went somewhere. I didn't want people to bother us. And I swear to you, it works. So if you go into work, and I've learned to put a white light of net, like a net around myself, so I still let the good energy in, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Just visualize. You can visualize a white net around yourself. That means that your good energy will come in, but you're protected against some of those negative people. Or even before I walk into a place, I'll say, protect me with the white light from any negativity that will come to me. And I have different sayings in my book that I'll say. Again, it's back to the vibration of your words, what you say. If I see somebody that I know is really, really bad energy, I'll put my hand up and say I deflect any negative energy and send it back to you.
Geez, my hands would be up all day.
And they're going to be real pissed off when you say that.
No, but I mean, it is obviously important to try and minimize your contact with negative people or minimize your interactions or whatever, right? But what about people that are both negative and positive? Like, you have these people that, sometimes they feel negative, sometimes they feel positive. Like, how is it best to be just aware of when it's negative so that you can kind of protect yourself?
Do you ever have anybody try to suck your energy? Like, just, they had a problem and they came over and they hung out, and then when they left, you felt drained and they felt really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay away from those people.
So what about...
A lot of times, or protect yourself before they get there, because a lot of times they don't realize that they're stealing your energy, but they are. Because a lot of people are brighter than others. Maybe they can't make their own light, so they're trying to steal yours, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay?
Well, how important...
And you're a real positive, upbeat person. People want that energy from you. So
maybe I'm stealing your energy, Graham.
Yeah, you could be.
What did you say?
Darren's been stealing my energy in the studio here.
You're an energy vampire.
Darren's a vampire.
A succubus.
Yeah.
I guess succubus. I always pictured it as a woman, but I guess that's sexist.
Yeah.
I guess that's because I'm a man. I guess to a woman, a succubus would be a dude, like a Dracula.
Yeah.
So getting back to the affirmation aspect of things. So how important do you think focus plays into that? Because I've always looked at the law of attraction as, it isn't enough to sit there and affirm that you want this from the universe. You kind of sort of have to actively be pursuing it and, putting in the work.
You have to feel it. Yeah, it's just like if I draw, say, when I was talking about drawing real estate. So I would say, I sell houses like crazy. I would actually see myself or feel what it felt like to know that I sold that property. I have to know that I'm going to sell the property. I can't doubt that I'm going to do it. I can't be afraid that I'm not going to do it. I have to put the affirmation out there, know that it's going to happen, and let it go.
Yeah, but isn't there also, after the letting go part, which is really important, but isn't there also a working aspect or an effort aspect that has to happen as well?
Of course. So then you let it go, and then my phone rings and someone says, "Oh, I need to buy a home," and I say, "Great," and I do my job. So you still have to do your job. Point is, you have to put the effort out there. No one's going to do it for you. You can draw things to you. You can draw what you want to yourself, okay? And you can keep the negative out by not talking negative or not thinking negative thoughts and not speaking negative thoughts. Like when a negative thought comes in your head, you have to change it up. And maybe you have a mantra that you say, so that like I fulfill my destiny every time a negative thought comes in your head or whatever it is that works for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard. I mean, it's hard because almost before you can recognize the negativity, there needs to be some sort of mindfulness or awareness or meditation practice to help with that. I mean, I never used to even acknowledge my negative thought patterns until having some awareness around it. Now I can, now when I'm judgmental, I can see it happening right away, and it annoys me, which is another problem because I should be compassionate to myself for it. But I see myself being judgmental, and I at least I can kind of try and catch it.
In what respect? Judgmental how?
Just to somebody, just little snap judgments on, let's say driving or something, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's driving slow, I start judging them, just little things like that happen day to day. Yeah. But I'm at least starting to notice it now.
Recognize it.
And then I can
You're recognizing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to stop doing that because that negative energy is going to come back to you. It's like this. The universe picks up on whatever energy you put out. So let's say you're grateful for something someone did for you. The universe picks up on that, and it sends you back grateful energy, good energy for that gratefulness. You can't fool the universe, right?
Right.
The universe picks up on whatever. So if you're behind someone like you're talking about, and maybe I'm going to make this a little more than it was, but say you're behind someone in traffic and you're like screaming at them or you're like saying all kinds of stuff, that's going to come back to you tenfold. And when people actually
That's why Danny's in your life, Graham. Just because of your road rage.
You, it does.
Yeah, no, I get it. Totally. I mean, I'd done gratitude lists and stuff before. I know the power of gratitude. It's very important. So luckily, I'm not at the point where I'm screaming anymore and behind the wheel. But it's just those snap judgments that are, annoying.
Well, it's like people tell me I'm looking for love and I want to find love, and I'm like, okay, well then, are you putting out the love vibration? Because if you put out the love vibration, that's what you're going to get back.
Right.
Once you get rid of those, you're zen, though. Really, I mean, once you can get rid of those, you're zen.
What are you talking about?
They're snap judgments. I mean,
those are hard to get rid of, though.
But that's the end game.
Right? Yeah.
I think it comes over time and practice.
Yeah, definitely.
It does. Compassion. It's hard. I'm better than I used to be, about being compassionate. Sometimes you see something or someone has an attitude and there may be something completely behind it and you don't realize it. So I've learned to try to just be more compassionate with people. And it is hard. It is hard. We're such a, quick. Everything's quick. We're used to everything being quick. You know what I'm saying? So when you see someone driving slow, it's you're just not used to it.
Well, Darren,
used to everything being instantaneous.
Yeah, Darren and I were just talking about. Weren't we talking about this the other day? Where you were talking about how you're a much calmer driver now, and we both are, right? Like when somebody cuts me off now, I really just go. I try and go. Something's going on with him. Like I'm not going to get upset because who knows what he's got going on. Like he's, like you said, compassion. Like trying to look, at least see something from the other side, right? Instead of blowing a gasket over it, just realize like maybe he didn't mean to cut me off, or maybe there's something going on. He could be having a really shitty day. Who knows, right?
Right. Somebody could be in the hospital. He could be, run into the emergency ward. You never know. Hey, listen, I want to bring something up that's really important that I talk about, and it's music, the energy of music, because they're healing so many people right now with music. And I always think music is like the best thing for me when I get in the car and they put on a really good song, and the vibration of the music always makes me feel better. So when I hear that they're healing people in the hospital with like harps and stuff like that, it makes me realize that the vibration of music can really balance us. And so I want to put that out there, that there's a lot of people doing work right now to heal people with music. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard about the specific hospital example, but I mean, I've been using singing bowls and
singing bowls. There's so there is a harpist that I write about, Carol McLaughlin, with harp. There's an international harp therapy program, and what they do is they go around to hospice, the ICU units, and they go into the hospitals and they play the harp for these people. And what happens is, and I've done a lot of research on this, it balances their energy field. And there's been like a 37% reduction in pain with the patients that they've played to. So the more, and yes, you talked about the crystal bowls and the healing bowls. I've done a lot of research on the cancer patients that they use the healing bowls. And again, it's back to, the beginning of time, they used music to heal, and we've gotten away from some of that. And that's just another really cool thing that people can do to balance their energy field.
Yeah, totally. I've had, that's some of my most profound experiences have been with music. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and people don't talk about it. So anyway, that's just another avenue that people can look at. And you were talking about, as we get a little bit more, pay attention to what's going on. I think gossip too. I don't know if people realize this or not, but the energy of gossip, like if people are talking about you and you think that energy doesn't reach you, it absolutely does. Okay? So you have to do things to protect yourself and to clear yourself. If you're in an office or if you're in a, that kind of a situation, you really definitely need to go home and take a sea salt bath or sage your house and do stuff like that. Because it's just like radio waves. Think of it like that. Like if how radio waves work, the energy works the same way. So it's just like if you are thinking about a friend and all of a sudden they call you and they say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you."
Yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we talk about synchronicities all the time on the show. It's a big theme where a lot of our guests and even a lot of our listeners have had, sometimes life-changing experiences through synchronicities and just, beyond coincidences.
Right. And I write a chapter in my book, Coincidence or Synchronicity. And in my mind, there are no coincidences. It's all synchronized to happen that way. Do you agree?
I think it depends on
the meaning.
I think it depends. I think there's a line somewhere that divides it, and I think there's another line in the aspect of if you don't notice it, then it doesn't matter type thing. You
have to pay attention.
Yeah, if you don't notice the synchronicity, then it's void. Then it's instantly meaningless.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like the tree in the woods. I'm saying that the tree in the woods, when it falls, if I'm not there, doesn't make a sound.
Well, I think things happen for a reason, and it's up to us to either learn the lesson or what happens to what I've learned and what I talk about is that the universe presents us with the same lesson again, but maybe with different people, but the same situation until we figure out the lesson. Once we learn the lesson, then we move forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So did you have any synchronicities that were part of this whole process for yourself?
I've had lots of them. I've had lots of synchronicities happen in my life. And I talk about them in the book too, different things that have happened. I had a girlfriend of mine. She called me one day and she's like, "I'm at the airport and I'm stuck here." She was just going on. And I said, "What? Just go into a little Starbucks and have a cup of coffee and call me, when you're getting on the plane or whatever, when your layover is done or whatever." And she called me back and she's like, "I went to the coffee shop and I met the greatest guy and they ended up getting married." So, these things happen. So I believe that if you're at the right place at the right time, because maybe the universe wanted you to be there.
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe that's why her plane was delayed, because she was supposed to meet that guy at the coffee shop, right?
Or maybe because maybe she had to call you. You had to tell her to go to the coffee shop like that. You were a part of that.
Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah.
Sure.
You were guiding her there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she wouldn't have picked up the phone and called you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And a lot of times, if I have a tough meeting, you guys are business people, if I have a tough meeting to go into, I'll say a little prayer. I'll just say, "Okay, let this meeting go really well for everyone involved and let the outcome, be great for everybody," or whatever it needs to be. Every time I do it, the meeting goes really well. Every time.
Yeah.
Basically, it's back to your affirmation, putting the energy out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like Reiki too. We learned in distance Reiki as well, and where you could send it to events and meetings and stuff like that, not just people.
Yeah, and the same thing, like if I have a tough phone call to make, I'll do the same thing. I'll say a quick little, hey, and I always say, hey, God, or hey, whatever works for you. Hey, universe, help me out. Make this call, but let me get the right person every time. If I got a tough one to make and I need to get somebody on the phone, every time I say, hey, let me get the proper person, I get them every single time. I think that's the biggest thing, too, I want to mention. I have a chapter in my book. It's called Just Ask. People don't ask. And you got to ask.
For help or for anything?
If you don't ask, you don't. I'm sorry?
For help or for anything? Like ask for help or ask for, just ask.
Both, anything. Yeah, you can't be afraid to ask. You can't be afraid to say, hey, I really would like this.
Well, because it feels vulnerable sometimes, right?
If you'll either get what you ask for or something better.
Yeah. I think people have a hard time though, because it is being vulnerable. I mean, if you're asking for help, especially.
Yeah, but you have to ask or you don't get.
Yeah.
So if you need, you have to. Yeah, that's the big thing. The energy of asking, and receiving it, the answer back. And you were talking about meditation. If people could just take 10 minutes in the morning and silence their mind, and just, when I meditate in the morning and I silence my mind, it's so hard for me to do because I'm such a type A personality. But I do it, I always get a really cool idea, and I always feel better, and that's where the knowledge comes from. It comes from that energy when you're meditating.
Yeah. It's like their relaxation response. Even the scientists and the inventors, they have that moment when they're in the shower or when they're relaxed, when they wake up just in the middle of waking up, and that's when they get the epiphany.
Eureka.
Yeah, the eureka moment. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I know it always happens when I meditate or in the shower. And a lot of things I think happen by water, because we're made up of water. We're like 70% water. So that's why I talk about, it's really important, if people take baths or get in a jacuzzi tub or mineral baths and that type of thing. It's very therapeutic.
Huh. Do you, talking about healing and people healing and being on the right, being positive and the right vibration and all that. Do you want to touch on that a little bit? Kind of like the energy healing, like more about the music as well, but just at people's states, because I know people that they're really trying to be positive. They're trying to shift their vibration. And we've had even listeners kind of, when we have these kind of shows where they might be having a serious illness. And like, I know that just not everybody's going to heal if they try this, but do you have any advice in that regard?
Yeah, I really do. It's what you have to believe in your mind, that you will be healed. What you believe in your mind has a lot to do with what happens, or has everything to do with what happens in your body. So you really have to have a positive and know, it's called faith, and know that you'll be healed. I've talked to different people who've been able to heal themselves. A couple people on a radio show that I did not long ago, they were the host. They both healed themselves from cancer. And I read a lot about it, and I think it has a lot to do with your attitude and your faith. And faith in a higher power that you can be healed. And I think you have to have the will to live. A lot of people, gosh, we're so blessed. And I don't mean to sound all ooey-gooey, but we really are. We're blessed to be able to be here and to be able to experience what we are experiencing every day. And some people, they get in the rut, I've seen people get in a rut and they just can't get out of it. I think that's what you're talking about. You have people that come on your show or they get in a rut and they just can't get themselves out. And what happens is, it's very simple if you think about it, negativity begets more negativity. Just like positive energy begets more positive energy. So when you get in a rut, you're in this negative spiral. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's really tough to guess.
Yeah, but I think go ahead, keep going.
Well, no, I'm trying to answer your question, because what happens is people get in this negative thing, okay, and that's where I talk about come home and sage your house or put cinnamon on the stove and get the air, open a window, Get some good energy going in the house. Get yourself clear. Get yourself a massage. Get away from the negative people. Say positive affirmations. Think positive things. Because whatever you think you are is what you become. We are made of energy. We have the ability to heal ourselves. We honestly do. We just have to believe that we do. And a lot has to do with the vibration of your thoughts and the vibration of your words.
So what about the people that genuinely believe that they are being positive and that there's nothing's working? But I know that sort of sounds like a oxymoron in a way, but they've tried it. They feel like they've really tried it. Like they're trying everything they can to be positive, to have faith, to have all that. But it's just, like you said, they're stuck in a rut, or it keeps happening, or they're not healing. I mean, is there a deeper subconscious level to this that people need to access to?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of times, but I mean, and they're welcome to call me or email me, and I can do an energy healing on them. But yeah, a lot of times people just get in a rut and they can't get out of it. Or maybe it's very simple and they're just not realizing it. You know, I watched, my sister was in a really bad marriage and she got leukemia. And it's interesting, she internalized, and I watched her internalize it. And she was kind of far away. She was several states away, so I wasn't able to, and I was doing this work. It's really sad. I didn't realize until, and she died a few years ago, and I would have been able to maybe help her. I don't know. But the problem is she stayed in the marriage and she didn't take herself out, and that's my point. When you're around somebody really negative and they're shooting negative energy at you and you're internalizing until you get yourself out, it can kill you. People don't realize that. Negativity is really harmful. You know what I mean? Because we're made up of energy. So think about it.
Yeah, I just think it's hard for people to see that, to realize that. They might.
Well, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Not that negativity is bad, but that they might have more negativity than they realize.
To get out of a situation, yeah. You know, it's like, how much do you like yourself? You know, you have to. I wish I would have known that my sister was in such a bad spot, you know, a long time ago, and I would have maybe, but who would have known? You know, she has a choice. We have choices, right? We have choices to make. Do you want to stay in the situation and remain unhealthy, or do you want to get yourself out? It's just like if you're at a job. I've been in a job where it's just been awful and draining and horrible. And sometimes it's better to get out of that job and into a different job to save yourself. You know, how important is that job? So,
did you realize going up through real estate and building your business, because you did quite well, right? You got Rookie of the Year when you started, and then did you fall into a materialistic trap at all, or when did you realize that?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes, I did. Of course, I did. Yeah, that's how I figured all this stuff out. Yes, I did. I had the car and the house, and I still do. But I was thinking, I should buy a plane. And then I could just fly wherever I wanted to go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then and something happened. The real estate market crashed. Yeah.
Which one was that then? That was just like
2008 and 2008.
Yeah.
It crashed. Yeah. And and that's when you sit back and you realize, wait a minute, all this stuff's not important. All the stuff doesn't really matter. You know? Yeah. Of course. I think you have to go from, I've lived where I've had to earn it all, and I've lost it and had to start over and do it again. And, but you learn as you go. And then what you learn is that it's not the stuff, the people. And that's kind of why I wrote this book, to help people.
Yeah.
Because I got the stuff, and I've traveled, and I've done all that cool stuff. But that doesn't matter. It's people that matter, and how you act, and how you treat people, and how you give back. And what can I do to help somebody else out today?
Well, they say the happiest people are the ones that have community around them, right? That have some sort of thing. It's not about possessions and your money and all. It really is about people, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just the feeling that you get when you give, or unselfishly, not because you had to, because you wanted to.
Yeah, not expecting something in return.
There you go. So yeah, I've gotten a little more humble as I've gotten older, because I've realized that the money is not where it's at. Not at all. Because I know I've only got a certain amount of time here, so I'm going to do everything I can to help people while I can.
And you do this to corporations as well? Do you get?
Yeah.
So explain how that works a little bit.
Well, I'm a motivational person. I think, when you're in the real estate business, you just are a type A person. But yeah, I go in and just kind of check out their situation and show them how to, get rid of, clear that energy, and use vision boards, use affirmations, and pay attention to their thoughts and, body language and all those different things that make a difference. And I talk about, I'm a religious person. I don't throw my religion on other people, but I do tell people that, faith has a lot to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah. But like we said before, it's not what it is, what your faith is. It's the principle of faith, right?
It's that you have to, that's why people turn to drugs. They're hollow on the inside, because you got to have something. If you don't believe in our creator or who created us, then what are you going to believe in? You got to believe in something. And it's like, that's where people get hollow, because all the material stuff doesn't fill you up. But if you think about it, what fills us up on the inside is love and light, right? So the love comes from person or our creator or from above. So that's what fills us up, is love. And that's what people are looking for. They're not looking for stuff. They're looking for love. They just want somebody else to care about them. See? And that's where people get lost.
Is that a Western thing? You said you traveled quite a bit in your experience. Is that a Western thing?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just figured that out over time, right?
I mean, it seems to me anyway, like Western society has sort of driven that community and the culture and a lot of times even the greater family is kind of going to the wayside.
Well, yeah, exactly. I grew up in Ohio and Michigan, and then I moved out west when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And I think, family has gotten lost, sense of community has gotten lost. You do see it more like in Texas. You'll see more family, and you'll see a difference. When I travel, I see a difference. People open doors, people say thank you, things like that. Common courtesy.
When you travel?
I think, yeah. I see a big difference. I mean, a kind word goes a long way. A smile goes a long way.
That's where.
So
That's where I struggle with this current climate that we're in right now, where I believe that all this, being negative towards someone is almost like a spell in a way, like speaking negative or calling people names and all. But then on the other hand, we should also be tough enough that, like when I grew up, it was like names, sticks and stones may break my bones kind of thing. So I kind of struggle with that, how people seem to be either oversensitive now, but then they also don't realize the power that their negativity has. Like we're stuck in this kind of polarized paradigm right now.
Yeah, it's almost like a defense mechanism, is what I see. Again, I'm trying to change it up. I think people need to just stop and just put out good energy. You don't have to be nasty to people. And if people are nasty, walk away, turn the other cheek. You don't need to deal with it. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. Do you remember that old rule?
Yeah, my mom used to say it. Yeah, my mom used to say it to me all the time, yeah.
True.
You think we could get a soundbite of your mom saying that for the show? That'd be classic.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Ask her, yeah.
It is a good idea, because that's what people need to hear. People need to wake up. That's why I wrote this book, because they're just not paying attention. They're just not. And I honestly want people to pay attention to what's going on, because they could really have a nice life for themselves if they paid attention.
But there is, you could look at it. There is a lot of people waking up right now. It seems to me like more than ever, people are waking up in many different ways.
I do see that, and that's where I do feel that we'll make it. We'll eventually get there. I just think that it's going to take some time. I wish all this negativity would stop, and that I see with the presidential election and all that. Doesn't matter who you voted for, let it go, and let's just move forward,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that with your intuitiveness and your your sort of psychic reading part of it. How do you feel about the energy right now? Is it, negative, scattered? I feel like things have to almost they might still have to escalate before they calm down, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think that they're going to see, people in the United States are going to see a lot of changes for the good, and I think they're going to see a lot of people get back to work. If that's what really has been the issue, people have really needed jobs and needed to get back to work. And I think in the next year, you'll see so many people go back to work that I think the energy will shift.
Hopefully,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think the energy will shift. I think people will start to realize that whether they like the new president or not, people getting back to work and the economy doing better. Well, already the stock market is booming, and big business has, a lot of the large businesses have decided to stay within the United States and not go elsewhere. So there's already a lot of positive changes. I think it's going to take time, and I think once people realize, the energy will shift. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think we've also been, we've been, things in a lot of ways haven't been good, the unemployment and all these other things. Everybody's in debt. I mean, the nations are in debt. Like it's been a real challenge with the central banking. I mean, we talk about all this kind of stuff on the show, and it's so crazy to me that we have to see all this backlash when really there is a chance that type of sort of higher level corruption, that stuff that affects everybody personally every day, could change. And yet there's still so much backlash.
It's funniest to see it in the circles of the people who have been saying they're anti-establishment for the last 10 years, and then someone anti-establishment gets in there and they fall for everything the establishment throws at them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I just see there's so much, and again, talk about ISIS and talk about all this war and all the fighting and all the beheading and all these horrible things that have gone on. We actually could change that if people would just stop and quit buying into it and don't feed into it. It's like people are feeding into it, and we got to stop the negativity. Believe it or not, it could make a difference if people could just, each person could do one positive thing every day, or just say one positive word to another individual a day. It would change things. It really, really would.
I totally believe
energy,
it.
Yeah. I mean, that's my goal, is to hey, stop, wake up, pay attention. What's going on? You guys are creating this. And I just feel like we're creating it ourselves, and we've got to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that might be turning off the TV or doing, getting away from
the cable.
Yeah. Getting away from all the, all the pharmaceutical ads and the mainstream news and all that kind of stuff. Not that anybody really watches that anymore much, but it's
right. And that's another thing. Yeah, people are paying attention and they're getting frustrated with it, and so I see a change. It is a change for the better. It's going to take a little time, but we just, all of us got to get out there and just really, talk about good energy and talk about positive energy and talk about positive things. And I think it'll make a difference.
So what's your plan now that this book is out and it's been a few months? You're talking a lot about it on the radio. Are you going to do something else, another one afterwards, or what's your plans now for the future?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm selling a lot of real estate, which is crazy because I didn't expect to be selling this much real estate, but I am selling a lot of real estate right now. I'm doing a ton of radio shows, and I'm having a really good time. People are buying the book, and that's awesome. And I'm helping people doing some speaking engagements, actually. So if people need me to speak, they can check out my website. Is it okay if I?
Yeah, for sure.
It's theenergyprofit.com. So visit me at theenergyprofit.com. I have a publicist. If you need me to speak or come and motivate your business, just, contact me that way. You can pick up my book at Barnes & Noble or at Amazon.com. And I'm starting to work on a new book, and it's about the energy of music, because the more I research about the energy of sound and healing, the more intrigued I am by it. So that's the next book that'll be out.
Oh, yeah.
Music.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're going to have to keep us in touch with that. We've been wanting to do an episode digging into that, but we've had some personal experiences with the didgeridoo and some ancient instruments and stuff like that. And I think that's a really cool area to explore. And there's so much there. So it'd be nice to chat about that when you get that out.
Yeah, for sure. We'll stay in touch. Thank you for having me on tonight. I really had a good time.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I've got your links in the show notes and everything's there for people. And there's also, a bunch of other stuff in there. So thanks for coming on, Nancy.
Yeah, thanks a bunch.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Bye.
That was a chat with Nancy.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's good.
The book. Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking to You.
Yeah.
So big thanks to Nancy for coming on the show. Big thanks to Scarlett. Is that a Scarlett?
Yeah.
Scarlett Publicity for getting us in touch. And yeah, that
was a fun one.
Wake up, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Thanks again for listening, guys. Check out, of course, Grimerica.ca/support if you can, for all the different ways you can help keep the show rolling. Keep us having these conversations, commercial free, ad free, paywall free, back catalog free, everything free. So if you can, sign up for a monthly over there, send a one-time donation, buy some swag in the store, Grimerica.ca/swag, sign people up for the newsletter, spam Gram, and tell your friends about the show. And all that shit would help quite a bit, really.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. All that shit's in the show notes, really.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know about the show notes.
There's a doobie list in there.
I asked you guys to sign up for the newsletter and nobody listened. So I'll ask you again. But it seems like you're not listening. Just take a second. Let's go sign up for the newsletter.
Where do you do that, on the website?
Grimerica.ca/news.
All right. That's probably in the show notes too.
It's probably in there. So sign up. I want to see 100 people sign up by next week, you motherfuckers.
Justin does a great job.
Especially because it's the thing, because it's about, I don't know, we've got it fade out to about somewhere between 1% and 2% of people who listen to the show will actually donate to the show. And we profoundly or profusely thank these people that do. But you'd think the other 98% of you could at least sign up for the newsletter.
I think it's 1% to 2% that participate at all, really.
Oh, you think that's it? It's just that's participation?
Yeah. Like if we were No Agenda Show and we had a chat room, it's 1% or 2% in the chat room. Like it seems like it's 1% to 2% for all that kind of stuff. For emailing in, kind of 1% to 2%.
People in the chat room are the same people that are donating?
No, not necessarily, but it still ends up being 1% to 2%.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out how the universe works and learn to grab down love.
And dipping
my robe in my pot.
Your elbow filled your robe. Oh, that's funny.
Better not bring the robe over the border. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week. We never actually see them.
I'm a rambling gram with synchronicities all over the web. And Aaron is skeptical about everyone and don't believe it yet.
If they make you laugh, if they make you cry, if they blow your mind, why not go online to Grimerica.ca/support?